Hello, it's Mr. Still Kind of Invisible, talking to the so visible people. This is a wonderful day. It's raining. I've got my umbrella. If it gets a bit heavier, I'm protected. And it's good that it's raining. It's really dry here. And it's just right that it's raining. It's the 23rd of July, 2022. Don't know what time it is. This date is very important to me, as 3 years ago to this day, I concluded 3 shows that changed my life forever. And that will never change. They were shows that I know you visible people are aware of, because this game has gone on a long time now. The shows utterly changed my life. And this third one, and this video I guess I will title The Love Bomb, because that was the theme of the show, all the shows. Because I was love bombed. And what happened to me from that moment onwards, I am eternally grateful for, because it opened up a part of me. I mean, it's like I said in a poem that maybe someone listened to, this heart can't be broken. It's more like it's broken into. Broken through the concepts, the greatest destroyer of the fun. Your concepts, your ideas, your opinions. They have to be broken to get to the heart. Now, at the moment I feel at a sort of place where I can begin to build. I feel like I've found my base. My foundation, if you like. And it has become blissful. Somehow I've found my home. A couple of days ago I did a message about, realising my inner child and how important it is and what it is. And that's grown on me over these last couple of days. And it's such a beautiful understanding, because it's an understanding every single one of us can have, and I want to share with you now. That realization that we are just that within us we have an inner masculine, an inner feminine, and an inner child. And of course, what does that child want? It wants harmony. It wants balance between those, that duality, if you like, of the male and female, is the duality. The singular, the one, is the inner child. And I've got to tell you, this is, of course, for many people known this, but that doesn't matter. Every one of us was a child at some point, without doubt. And of course that child wants to feel safe, protected and everything. And I feel now that beautiful harmony that is just that balance. And that surely is being one. For that inner child to just feel safe, that eternal part of us, the infinite, is that child that passes through time, space, history, passes down, maintains memories on some level in every cell of our being, and coming to the realization that you can find that inner child, harmonize, align with that inner child, is truly realizing what you are, that infinite part. I'll expand on it later. I will. Back to those shows for a second. They have been so important to me. I have lived them. And I realise that I have quite literally lived them. That I, in a sense, set a spell on myself, but a spell so large that I set it upon us all in some weird way. And I just caught that wave and saw things. I mean, my goodness, the stuff I was going. I'm going to read a bit of my book in a minute, and that will explain it without me trying to explain it. The stuff I was going through at the time was enormous. But the certainty that I felt throughout just kept me going. Now, I just want to say, I've told you before, I love you. And that will never change. And I want this to be a connection with every single one of you that resonates with me. You don't resonate with me, it doesn't matter. I have no problem. But if you resonate with me, then I promise you, we can have an absolutely fantastic time. Because each and every one of us can understand that very thing of aligning ourselves, of making our inner child happy, joyful, comfortable, loved, beyond belief. And that is the work we're in. That is the alchemy we're in. The earth itself is going through this alchemy. I want to say thank you to so many. I mean, the list is ridiculous, I want to say. But Infinity, Gitika, thank you. Good Morning Lights, thank you. Alchemist, thank you. Guy saying, what was it? Stupid is seeing the truth, knowing the truth, and yet still believing the lie. Brilliant quote. Little story. The story of a king. The night before the battle, he was preparing himself, and he was struggling with the questions of what is heaven and what is hell. He struggled all night, didn't sleep well, wasn't sure what was going to happen the next day. He went out with his army. As he's on the way to the battle, he sees a wise man. He stops his army and says, hang on, I need to speak to this guy, because surely he can answer me. He goes to the wise man. Wise man, please answer me. What is heaven and what is hell? The wise man looks at him, sees he is a great king, thinks for a moment and says, I don't have time to answer you, King. I have things to do. And goes to walk away. The king. He's so angry. He has so much to do. He's so important. And he sees this wise man. And he gets so angry with him. How dare you not talk to me? I am the king. The wise man turns to him and says, now, king, you're in hell. The king stops for a moment, sees the wisdom of what he says, falls on his knees and says, thank you. Thank you, you've shown me my anger. Thank you for your wise words. The wise man, still ready to go. This king's not ready. He turns to him just before he leaves. He says, King, now you're in heaven. And it is that simple. Heaven on earth is gratitude. Align with gratitude. We've got this whole show sorted. It's going to be playful today. Right, we're going to have fun. Okay, so I'm reading you some of the book. So, to just catch you up, keep it in context. Remember, I'm Circo Pequeno, so if I jump around a bit, that's how this is going to work, okay? That's up to you to keep up. Getting dripped on here. What's going on? Right, to keep this in some type of context, even though it's quite fun to mix it around, it all is. I'm going to carry on from a point I read before to nobody, which was part of the book, just to give it continuity. So, I wrote this on the 21st of May, 2021. And yet it is set in November 2020. Dragons and emperors, emperors and dragons. Sky full of arrows and spears. Death and opportunity, life and change. The whole world locked in a battle with both visible and invisible enemies. Our attention hung, drawn and quartered. The great yet fallen emperor Murderrock and his entourage of snakes and demons have left reality behind in their sole quest for power. So entitled and spoilt have they been that they cannot believe how unfair it has all become. How is it possible the people have seen through the king of lies and illusion? How can it be their plans have failed? Their main champion is an odd man and the leader of a certain nation. A bad choice of champion, depending which side you're on. He is a descendant of the interesting Rumpelstiltskin. Indeed, his name is now Mr. Rump, as he lost the first letter of his name in the coming battles. He was no dragon in the end. Without the support of the Murderrock family, he was finished. The tribes cast their lot, and he was banished. Yet then the life of lies showed its colour. You see, this leader had embraced the ways of the snake so completely that his followers joined in the treachery against the highest power and would suffer the consequences. Indeed, Revelations was always their favourite book. He took his people so far down the rabbit hole of madness and lies that it was unclear if they could return, and like he has done all his life, he abandoned them. We will return to the Murderrock and Rump families, as we are not finished with them yet. Now I would like you to meet a real dragon, a real emperor, arguably one of the most powerful ever. He too lives on gossip and power play. Move fast and break things was his motto, a young and dangerous boy, who would enjoy toppling the houses of the righteous and dividing all people. I offer you the dragon called Mr. Zuckerrock. Oh, how he loved the power, the sort of dragon who would kill ants with a missile. For many years his power seemed absolute, and he toppled nations for fun. Of course he had help. In these battles it is important to identify your enemies. Some very learned warriors joined his way, as they are warriors of the visible world only. These included a particularly noxious group who called themselves Cambridge Analytica, among many other names. Their leader was Mr. Nix, a man who should not sleep well. In the island kingdom of the north, the former great nation who had so much, the work of these dragons and demons did the most damage. It would seem to be a dragon's den with treasure galore and dark secrets. The champion of this disunited kingdom was a funny chap called Niggly Barrage. Being niggly was what he did best, and with the help of Murderrock, he managed to topple the great nation, and the fishermen's nets were empty. The last chief of the Australia's tribe knew the Murderrocks well, and had watched the sons fight for attention. He warned the world of their bad intent, and prayed what was done to the northern kingdoms could not repeat in his beloved Australia. The tribes would unite and agree that there was a visible enemy, far more deadly than the invisible one. Ah, I almost forgot. There is one dragon who thinks he rules all others. He wrote the Book of Lies and lives through them. He divides and cajoles, manipulates and postures, highly intelligent in the purely synthetic way. He pulls the strings of Mr. Rump and all his clan of haters. In truth, he has the chessboard set very well, or so he thinks. As you draw close to him, you smell the power, the crackling of a killer. The Botox drips from his chin as he plans. His is the power of a mafia boss, but the days are changing for his kind. This must not be tolerated any more. By grace, their time is up. 18th of July, 2021. Still stuck, it would seem. How do you accept a gift? Clarity is what is needed. Success is seeing the light from the darkness, and I see this more every day. Yet a foolish part of me stops me. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, yet I fall again. Peace is a feeling, and I can and have known it. In despair, know yourself. In disappointment, know yourself. Know yourself. I heard a beautiful Zulu saying, where we all have two minds. One, the warrior mind, which is straightforward and direct, and the other, the mother mind, which goes sideways and encompasses all. We all need to awaken our mother mind. 30th of July, 2021. What is the heart? This inner realm we all have, this ability to touch upon the infinite, our lens to all that is, an opportunity to appreciate and break through to our creativity and allow the divine to experience itself. What a mystery to be placed with, immersed in and containing the infinite. Only through understanding can one make a connection, even though we are always connected. We all know this power. How do you search for something you have not lost? 7th of January, 2014. My son is born. Zach Alexander Gomez enters the world and starts his journey, his story. He holds my finger as we wait for his mother to feel a bit better. Honestly not sure if men are much use in birth. I felt useless. It is one of those situations you learn that a female has more courage and strength than any man can dream of. There was a giant storm at the time of Zach's birth. The waves hitting Sagres reached 14 metres, and a local surfer in Lagos got a beautiful wave right across the river entry and ended up on Maya Praia. The south coast was battered, and a lot of damage was caused to the fragile cliff. 12th of March 2007. There's an experience in me, a hurtling in me, a worth it in me. There's understanding in me, a divine library in me, learning to be. There are no limits in me, no boundaries to see, the unstoppable me. There are 3 parts to me, I must clearly see, 1, 2 and 3. There's endless joy in this frame, wisdom with no name, a creator's game. There's knowledge for me, to feel, to be. There's gratitude in me, a love so easy, the gift within the gift. There's hope in me, which helps me carry on, a change for the better. May consciousness rule my day. 7th of January, 2019. This would be a day I return to again and again, dissecting, remembering, seeing patterns and joining dots that may or may not be there. I find myself sitting drinking a coffee when my attention is drawn to someone walking by. My gaze follows and lingers on this someone as she talks to someone behind the counter. She turns to me and I look in her eyes for a second, and I have not been the same since. As much as my reaction was to be mute, hers was full of colour and emotion. I looked away, wondering how someone had just walked into my heart and flicked the on switch. She ordered coffee and then turned and walked straight towards me, just a few meters away. I could not raise my gaze until she turned to the door, and I looked up to see her in profile. I knew her and had seen her before recently, but my brain had checked out completely. She came back in almost immediately to get her coffees, 3 in total. I was utterly stuck to my chair, close to fearful of this person who could so touch me so simply. This was the catalyst moment that proceeded to explode in me and lead to the most profound changes and insights I could ever imagine. This web of time we are on, joined in the most cosmic way, and our ability to appreciate and perhaps see that divine magic at play. And if we dare to join the dance and see, truly see beyond this wonderful facade to the true wonder of the infinite. You see, I think I am correct when I say she knocked me off my feet. Indeed, she lit the fuse of my own love bomb. 15th of August, 2021. Praia do Amado. What is it with this beach? What is it in my mind that joins dots and sees synchronicity in seemingly random events? Anyway, I got here yesterday and the car packed in 20 metres from the car park, front wheel locked on, and I had to reverse to park. I decided to turn it into something good, and I stayed there the night, slept in the open on the beach, and went surfing twice. I am now waiting for the tow truck. Amazing dreams lately, some utterly lucid experiences, as real as I am now. Last night, someone gave me a giant roll of cash to start some venture. I held it and was excited. Orson, stop there for a moment, please. We have received some fresh parts of the story. First, what do you think so far? Well, it jumps around a lot, but I feel for the guy. It has scope. It is good to become intrigued at the beginning of a good story. We need to talk, number one. I am not being entirely open with you. Not now. We need to stick to the plan, but we will have a chance soon. Where are you? In the ocean, yeah? That is part of what I need to talk about. I was in the ocean and I started observing, and you can forget the inventory list. It would wind me up. The dolphins are crying. They need our help. The scale of damage is vast and is not one fish's fault. It sounds awful, Orson, but we can fix it, can't we? It is all part of the ship's systems that we need, like the shields, which need work too. Yet, I hope so. Yet all this damage really seems to be done by humans. I don't understand what went wrong. You sound down. Come on, there are good people. Oh yeah, there really are. It is almost everyone. Yet the richest, most entitled and lost to power would try to take everyone with them. Their crazy propaganda has infected minds all over the world, and it is awful. It blinds the person to the truth completely, and they just want anger and hate. It has always been thus. Yes, but it is at a crazy level. Hang on a minute. How do you know all this? Where are you? You would not get this information in the ocean. No internet, remember? I told you, I need to talk. I was so fucking upset with the state of the ocean. What's your language? We are not sure this is secure. We again? Who is we? Orson, where on earth are you? Well, I am sending you an upgrade as we speak. This way, you will have direct access to the next part of the story. Please just read aloud as it comes to you. It is affecting my inner ear. What is it? You'll see, and it is user-friendly. I feel sick. I need to lie down. Okay, take 30 minutes. See you. Yeah. Hi. Number 1? Hi, you okay? Yeah, no worries, all better. It was weird. I was aware of the upgrade. It will be interesting trying to sync with it. Well, do you feel ready to try? Yeah. Okay. So from the manual, it says you need to relax and focus within. It should prompt you. Okay, give me a minute. Whoa, shit. It's not just words, number 1. I see the story. It is not finished. It's about Emma again. It's a different time. Or, I don't know. Wow, sounds good, that upgrade. Start the story. I can't find the start. Oh, yeah, got it. So it is titled Finding Emma. The show, in the show, in the show. Finding Emma. The show, in the show, in the show. As I entered deeper into my imagination, a faint voice warned me, yet I was helpless in the grasp of a full-blown command. Dive now. I love you. It is just a matter of time. Along with several terabytes of God knows what other sort of information I would sift through over the coming weeks, I proceeded to fall kind of back or down, under or in, and after receiving the most loving look I have ever received, I found and lost Emma in a couple of minutes. I would return to that time so many times over the time, and I will from time to time in this book. It was those moments on the 7th of January 2019, 11:43ish, in Intermarché Boudens, that this entire book pivots around, and my life since. And now I see, I guess, my life before. You see, that moment or time has become for me like a portal or wormhole or window, that if my situation permits, I can enter at will and both feel and, well, we will see, write a book. So, believers in magic and love, follow me into a fairy tale where all will not be quite as it seems, and all will be different to different people. Skeptics beware. Your heart may wake up just a little bit more, and your outlook expand, and so from there your wonder will take you in, and the journey begin. Flashes in time. My teacher said, the sun is always setting and always rising. It never stops. Love is the same way. Oh shit, seriously? My consciousness realized this over the coming time and assimilated it like someone coming to terms with a 6-month or year or lifetime trip. This spinning, incessant, unstoppable, beguiling and blissful thing inside me, and it woke up. Sinking, sinking, falling, falling. Strangely, I went straight to the ocean after seeing Emma. I was filled with a wonderful feeling that I just wanted to spend time with, to let myself sink in, and then gradually the mystery took hold. The treasure hunt began. Who was this angel or demon, this muse or siren, I simply could not stop thinking of her. I served, came home, slept, and went to work. Over and over, returning and thinking, dreaming and remembering, like some obsessive fire. I remembered seeing her just 2 or 3 weeks before and hadn't realised fully at the time. Now that gave my mind the first of many clues in this labyrinth. Looking back, it is amazing how astute I was at first, and how I sank deeper into the mysteries because of perceived barriers. The truth is I returned from work that first day and went straight to the source of this book, another book, or rather my journal. In it, I found her name and could at least calm the fire in me for a while. I read of the me then and realised the me now felt as then, that I was in a way back in April 2007 when I had met Emma. Feelings and memories flooded me and I was swept away. Emma, who I had let go and had come back. Emma, who I asked to remember me, did. I was in a fantasy, I knew, but I could not stop falling. The colour and substance of my thoughts and flights of fancy took on a dreamlike, surreal quality. Her face was clear in my mind's eye. The info I received was still downloading.